Hello, good evening. This is Jared Alexander. Here's my sheet of paper. I'll be using my little notes as well on the other side. That's pretty much it. So I'm going to be talking about the anatomy of the skin. So general description, there's really two main parts, and then there's the hypodermis. The epidermis is the outermost layer, and then the dermis underneath the epidermis. And then there's the hypodermis, which is the subcutaneous fat region, and it's more loosely connective tissue. So starting with the epidermis, there are 5 distinct layers going from top to bottom. As you're doing a dissection, it'd be stratum corneum. This is the toughest outer layer, mostly just dead keratinized keratinocytes. And then there's the stratum lucidum. Both corneum and lucidum are more waterproof, resistant to water penetration. Stratum granulosum is more granular and tougher connective tissue. Stratum spinosum, and this is created as keratinocytes are pushing up the older ones towards the surface. And then there's the stratum basal, which is the bottommost layer. And this one also has most of the melanocytes as well. And then there's the basal lamina, which is a distinct layer between the epidermis and the dermis. So now within the dermis, you have the 2 main regions, which are the papillary and the reticulum. Papillary, which is the stratum papillaire, and then the reticulum, which is the stratum reticulare. And within these layers are a lot of the important fibers are organ systems, organ parts such as nerves, nerve endings, and those sensors. There are sweat glands, sebaceous glands, which are around the hair follicles, and also the blood vessels. And then below the dermis is the subcutaneous fat and loose connective tissue, and it's known as the tela subcutaneae. And clinical example of application of this anatomy of the skin would be with annual or routine physicals, doing cancer screenings, looking for changes within melanocytes, and which can appear to be nevus, or they could be some form of a cancer. Some carcinoma, basal cell carcinoma is a common one, and it would be something I would be doing as a nurse APRN or as a physician assistant. Thank you, and that is all.